So can't you answer these last time? But B dude, you weren't able to answer them. But why don't you give people a self introduction of your username and how you came up with it? Although I kind of know the story of it.
Okay. Well, my username started when I was a wee young lad. I always used to wear my hat backwards, and my parents always used to say I was a pretty cool dude. So then I got video games, and you got to put your name in, but I couldn't fit cool dude into there. I can only fit like 5 letters, and I'm like, all right, well, my first name starts with a B, so we'll just put B in front of dude. That'll be the cool dude that it is, and that is the whole thing.
Oh, but then that's not what you explained to people on your stream, though.
Oh, you mean that? Well, that kind of came later. So the B and B dude, actually B clan, doesn't actually stand for B dude. It stands for booty, and it's just because we love the booty. We
That's
worship the
okay.
booty and we respect the booty.
Yeah, he has a whole speech. It's actually really
That's
And
hilarious. I love it.
look at B dude in his holiday chateau. Yes, and not be
and
cool.
so if you come to the B dude stream, it's gonna be lewd, which I guess you guys are used to because Pixel's lewd.
No, but B dude's stream is like way looter, like 3 times looter. Like a lot looter. Oh, so how did you come across the channel and why did you decide to follow? I think I know how you came across it, but
I had to think about this one. I'm pretty sure I came in with a Genray raid
Mm.
back in, and I actually looked this up. It was in September of 2018, and
Oh, wow.
it's actually not too hard. You just click on your name and it shows you. And I was like, you know what? You were doing Perler beating at the time, and I think you were doing. I think you were doing something Pokemon. My memory isn't that good. Like, you know what? This is pretty cool. I'm gonna follow. And then I found out you were Canadian, and I was like, you know, it's okay just because even though you're in the East, we'll still follow because Canadians are Canadians.
yeah. I've noticed that if people find out you're Canadian and they're also Canadian, they automatically like, "Hey, you're cool," and then they follow. It's a thing.
I mean, that's me every time I come across a Hawaii streamer, so I know exactly the feels.
So how did each of you
But
start?
is there like designation?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I just want to ask: is there like distinct like East versus West Canada type of thing, or oh
Uh,
you're from Canada too? Cool.
it depends, but I know a lot of people don't like people from Toronto, or they don't like people from Quebec, and so on and so forth. Because I don't know.
It's more of a meme than anything. You'll pretty
Yeah.
much
So
follow anyone.
Vancouver,
I think
Or
they.
if you're following a
so
Newfie,
Vancouver or nothing.
Newfies are a little weird.
Are they?
Yes, they're very weird.
I don't know if I've ever met one.
Have you never come across Crystal?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I know him and Genray are used to. Well, actually, he hasn't streamed for a while, but I followed him because of Genray too, and he's Newfie, and he's the way you would think a Newfie would be.
Like very
Newfie or
Newfoundland.
Newfie.
Like somebody from Newfoundland, right?
Yeah, Newfoundlanders.
Wait, just a
they're kind of
Got it.
outlandish. Even though they're sober, they seem like they're kind of high drunk at the same time, and they kind of have that Newfie slur to it.
Are they the ones with the like kind of stereotypical Canadian accent?
Mixed Canadian with like a bit of like an Irish Scottish type of thing.
Look at that. Frictionless says most of Canada doesn't like the real East Coasters. Really? I don't know. I am indifferent to them. The slur.
Like they have such things like you'd say, "What are you at?" and that just means "What are you up to?" But that's just like I don't know. They just slur stuff together. I may have just looked that up though. See, Ben knows about the slur.
He noticed the slur. Oh, I guess he knows who you're talking about then. The other person.
I feel like culturally a lot of different, like outside of US or England, when people try to learn English, they slur a lot of the words together. So you you get their accent heavy, and then still trying to grasp our grammar. So like some
I'm still
words
trying to
are
grasp
harder
the
to
grammar.
say than others, and then that's how you get like the term, like the different culture terminologies. It'd be like that. Oh, just wait till you like come across someone that speaks pidgin. It's even crazier.
I've heard a little bit of it, but then when I try to listen very carefully, I can't really tell what they're saying.
That's because like Creole English is like I would say like 5 languages, 7 languages into one, with like English undertones barely. But it's like I don't know. I guess it's like when you guys hear someone with a French accent, it kind of like turns. It's like a switch that turns on and off. Maybe I know that's how it is for me. Normal right now, but then I can only speak pidgin with another pidgin English.
I can imagine. How did each of you start streaming? Like, what was the appeal of it for you? Oh
I'll
wait,
let BDude answer this one.
yeah, I
The
think I
appeal
asked
of
you last time.
streaming, hey?
Kaju.
So the first stream I actually ever did was that 48-hour charity stream.
That was the first one
Which,
you ever did?
yeah, that was
What?
terrible.
Damn.
I was like,
Wait.
I'll play video games for 48 hours for charity. It's fine.
Whoa.
And I died. And then after that, I was like, well, I used to do a lot of like YouTube Let's Plays and stuff. And I really liked when like you had the interaction, just the fact that you could interact live with people while doing kind of the same thing, and you didn't have to edit for hours on end. It was
Yes, I
like
agree with
sick.
that.
This is awesome. And I didn't even have good. I mean, I still don't have great internet, but I didn't have good internet then, and I could still just have a blast doing it.
So, Kaju, what was your first stream?
Rick, I forget already. What was I playing? I think I was playing something underrated at the time, cause like a lot of my early stuff, I wasn't doing like mainstream. It might have been Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
I might have started Breath of the Wild back then, but like for me, like I elaborated a little bit. Like originally I wanted to do podcasting, right? So, but then like I got the recording equipment and stuff like that because I feel like for like versus like live streaming, um, there's like it's a little less to set up versus an actual stream, and then even less to edit because it's only audio you're working with, not so much video. So and you like talk for an hour about whatever the f you want. Like I think that was more appealing to me at the time, but because all my friends were like busy with their own lives and stuff like that, it was hard to like find people that were consistent. So I was like, okay, maybe not podcasting, but let's give streaming a go. So like I think my first 2 months I was like playing the very underrated stuff. So my like the biggest game for me would have been Breath of the Wild, but then I was also playing like the DuckTales remastered game. Uh Frig, what was that Power Ranger one? It was like a Power Ranger RPG type game and stuff like that. So I think I only found like I only found a direction on where to go like way later on, but it was like for me streaming was like a more casual thing back then.
Was it like that for you too, B dude? Or did you like start with it kind of seriously and then go?
No, when I first started, it was like around that. I think that charity stream was in like 2016, and I would just stream like I don't know, 3 times a year or something like that. And then Genry came over in about 2018, in about May, which we found out you also started at the same time about. And from then on, it kind of took it a little, well, seriously, as in I did it more frequently. But I think I'm more serious now as far as like trying to actually grow a stream than I was then.
Yeah.
Then it was just for the lull. I mean, I'm still for the lulls, but that's just me.
That's true. I think that's like kind of your
Same actually.
that word. Like, you know how every streamer kind of has like a, I don't know,
Persona?
profiles?
Growth?
Yeah, persona. Like they have their own little kind of character, not character, but personality that sticks, that appeals to people. That's what I mean.
I,
Dude, yours is very
I just
distinct.
hear characters in my head screaming, Persona!
Sorry. Because Dude plays Persona 5 and 4. Mostly 5.
Yo, Scramble for Switch. I'm excited for it.
Oh yeah, the new game that was announced. Yeah. How do you guys try to think out of the box and make your streams unique? Because there's just so many streamers out there now.
Just reading my notes real quick because I don't remember this one.
It's okay.
So one thing that I like to try and do is you can see what someone else does, but then try and put your own spin on it.
Mm.
So if you see something that you really like, instead of just like doing what they're doing, take what they're doing, but then be like, all right, how would I do it so it's more me? So I mean, one thing that I'm bringing back because I got a new webcam is I'm going to bring back because I saw one other guy do it, but I'm going to do it a little bit different. Is I call it the sicko mode when I'm speedrunning. That's when I have a webcam sitting up there and you kind of get like a POV looking down. I want to like try and add some like hardcore music, so it's like yeah, while you're just going sicko mode.
I think you did something like that similar before.
I did, and then my webcam died.
Ah, gotcha. Now you have a new one.
It lasted for about 3 weeks, and then that webcam decided it was dead.
I remember that stream. Oh, Frictionless said he's seen someone do that mode. What about you, Kaju?
I feel like a lot of speedrunners now record that top POV view now. Oh, hold on. I swear. Hello?
Yep, I hear you.
You're still good.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Okay. It's acting up on my end. Like for me, it's a little bit different because like I want to try different things, but at the same time, I'm limited to what's it called? Being respectful, because I still live at home with family, right? So as much as I want to like scream at the top of my lungs and be more energetic, you know, I stream pretty late at night, and most of them are sleeping already. So it's like, okay, I can't like do Naruto runs on stream. Over exaggeration, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like it kind of goes with what BDude says, like, you know, what interests, what other streamers are doing, and then what you can do to put a twist on it. And then for me specifically, it's like, you know, what other streamers are doing, or at least the big name ones, are the ones with the personas or characters, you know. So I'm trying to bring more of that energy into my stream. At the same time, you know, try to keep the roots of who I am, because I feel like if you separate yourself from the streamer too much, then it's like, okay, you're seeing two different people, you know, you're putting on that performance. For me, I kind of want to keep the two close to the same, if anything, you know. And then from there, it's just finding a gimmick that works with my stream. So that's why I tried the Pokemon card shredding, because it ties to like my roots of being a collector, and you know, being able to like, you know, be excited about like the small things, or finding that potential value in things as well. So that's what I've been doing.
Yeah. For me, doing things
By the way, I have a whole box of cards I'm gonna send to you, Pix.
Yay! Yeah, like for me, things that you and BDude do, they're a little out of my comfort zone, so I probably personally wouldn't do them. I'm trying to get out of them, but like, but I don't know what I do differently other than just try to be myself and try to incorporate what I like into my streams. And
oh
be
wait, I
very
shook
open.
my butt in front of a camera.
You have you have. But yeah, I just like to incorporate bits of my personality into the stream, I guess. So the stream is it's very girly. Lots of pink everywhere because I like the color pink and I like cute things and Pikachu, all that stuff. But I don't know if that's necessarily me being unique in any way compared to other streamers.
I'm trying to add a little more interactivity into speedrunning, which, aside from giving people the options to like mess up the speedrun, which I would not care for too much, it's a fine line that I'm trying to tiptoe right now, but I have a few ideas that I've kind of thrown in here and there.
Oh, even if it ruins, or even if you're like about to get a record.
So mostly like things I have right now is like with channel points or whatever, people can change the background that I have when I'm doing the speedrun, or they can change the name of the splits. I don't want them to like. Maybe I'll have it where I can set up a bot and there'll be like some days where we'll do meme speedruns and then they can botch it up. But I don't want to be on like a really good run, especially since I'm like in Link's Awakening. If I was on a run where I'm going to get like second on the leaderboards or something, and someone's like, "Ha, just kidding,"
and then they use the point.
that'd be so sad.
I think a good example for you, BDude, would be like Smallant, because he kind of has a style to what you do. But like, of course, he targets specifically the big speedrunning games. But like, the way he just does, I I do Breath of the Wild with only my feet. You know, it's like
Really?
Yeah, I've thought about
to change things up. Yeah, do stuff like that.
Yeah, that
Rex, I think your stream it suits you perfectly. I think it's like, you know, versus like other streamers, you give off like just like inner, like you don't give off like that ooh woo girl vibe, you know. It's like this is just who you are type thing. You don't like purposely try to raise your voice up like 5 notches to
I
get
avoid those
attention and
streams
stuff
like the
that.
plague. I don't like those
So
streams.
it's like it feels more natural.
That is true.
And I think you're the only person I've seen that do perler beating too. So it's like that alone is like unique.
Yeah, sometimes I try to find more perler beaters to raid, but I can't find any. I don't know if it's just like people aren't doing them anymore, or like because when I first started, there were a few, but I haven't seen any.
Maybe there's a Discord.
Maybe.
There's probably a community somewhere, but I know a lot of people have been like going into digital art lately. So
yeah,
hopefully, what you do for crafting is like it stands out.
That's true. What's I gonna do? Oh, stream events and planning for them. Because I know we've all kind of done our fair share of streaming events. I'm doing one now. Kaju, you just did one not too long ago. And BDude is known for, in my mind, doing 48-hour streams.
I've only done that a couple of times.
Yeah,
it's been a while. I'm too old now.
But I don't know, because I know a lot of people do like subathons and all that stuff. But when do you do them? How often do you do them? Because you don't want to do them too much, or else people are going to be like, "Oh, it's not really special."
Unless there's like a reason that you feel like doing one, aside from just like I feel like doing one. I usually don't. So I'm like, we're gonna do like a New Year's thing because that is New Year's, whatever.
Yeah.
Birthdays, sure. Other than that, unless it's just like I just feel like I have one coming up that I'm thinking about where I'm gonna do like a speedrun marathon thing with like throughout the speedrun, if we hit certain amount of things, then we'll do one more. And then if we hit certain amount of things, we'll do one more type of thing. So kind of like what you're doing, but also it's kind of in my niche of speedrunning, since I know about 7 or 8 games that I could just throw on. Some of them might not be good because I haven't played some of them for a year, but whatever.
I think that would be the entertaining part.
Yeah. But I mean, even with like all that, usually if I get into it, I like to try and make up like overlay setups that are different alerts. Oh wait, I did a charity thing just this past year, I think, because that's where I had the Carolina Reaper.
Yeah, you did.
That wasn't fun.
You still did it.
I still did it. I don't recommend eating a Carolina Reaper, but you know, all the power to It was like $8 too.
Yeah.
For one little pepper.
That
But yeah,
costs-
I tend to like make a whole bunch of like custom little things just for it. So it tends to be like 2 months of work for the one thing, which is probably why I don't do them too often.
Yeah, because for these events, you got to make graphics and all this stuff, and you got to plan it and be like, okay, when we reach this, then this will be the reward.
That, and then I don't know if you've ever used Tiltify, but if you're doing a charity thing, then you set up Tiltify so that people donate straight to that, and then that goes to the thing. And I don't know. There's so many like small things. I ended up making a list of like big things and then a list of small things. And the list of small things was like, okay, we won't worry about this till like the last couple of weeks. Then there was like 1 week left. I'm like, holy crap, I have a lot to get through yet.
Yeah.
And then when you're in the middle of it, I'm sure you found it where you'll just like midstream and an idea hits you or something hits you and you're like, all right, we're just gonna try and implement this the best we can right on the fly. Whether it be some inspiration or someone has a great idea in chat and they're like, hey, we should do this, and you're like, yeah, we should do that. Hang on a sec, just bang it up real quick. Then you find out how good you are in OBS.
OBS, I find, is a lot better than Streamlabs OBS, by the way.
I've never looked back.
I don't know which one you're using, Kaju, but if you're still on Streamlabs, I'd recommend changing.
It took me, when I was swapping over, because I had to bring over all the graphics and the sound alerts and whatever else, and it wouldn't do like the easy transfer thing over, but that took me like, I sat here for like 16 or 17 hours one day. I just transferred all over and made sure it all worked, but I still love that I did it.
Oh, maybe
Check,
because I.
check.
Oh, now I can hear you. I saw your mouth move, but I couldn't hear you for a bit.
Oh my god, I'm borrowing my mom's laptop.
Okay.
I was like trying to talk and then like things happen. But I think to go off what BDude's saying, it's like that's why, like, you know, when I did my 24-hour stream, like I literally just did one graphic that says, hey, I'm keeping it simple, no goals this time around. I just want to chill with you guys because, you know, my birthday and all. But like when I did my first 12-hour stream, it was like so much effort it was like so much time to even just plan everything in advance. It's like I give props to people that do multiple events on like a monthly basis, but it's like, you know, I think there like, of course, birthday, holiday, and like stream anniversaries. So like your first stream and either when you first become affiliate or even for some people when they first become partner. I think those are like significant dates for like, okay, like I can justify doing like an event stream or something. But I think like too much of it, depending on your audience, can like make or break sometimes because it's like, okay, you put so much effort to doing a subathon, and then when you actually do it, you barely hit some of your goals, you know. And I think it's like gauging your audience and knowing what works best for them. So, and yeah, I mean, I would like to put more effort into planning, but like especially this last one where like I was just like busy all of December. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna keep it simple enough where like, you know, I can enjoy myself and, you know, just to celebrate an occasion.
Yeah, piggybacking off what you said there a little bit, you definitely don't want your events to become a routine, because then they kind of lose their luster over time.
Yeah, that's why it's like,
like, oh, they're doing this again.
How many do you think a year is good
for an all-girls Valorant tournament?
I think I've seen that being done twice.
I've seen like four Valorant events already from the same group of people. And it's not to say it's a bad thing, but it's like, I think over time it's like what BDude said, it starts to lose its luster because it's happening so often without it being like an official league, for example. About how many times per year? I don't know. I would think like for small streamers like us, like one event per quarter would suffice, honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna
if
say,
you have
like,
the community big enough, maybe like 2 to 3 events. Yeah, 2 to 3 events a quarter. If you're like, if the community shows that, like, you know, they're out to support what you're doing, and like, as much, I think you gotta look at it logistically as well, where it's like, okay, I want to do these things, but is it gonna be financially wise for me to put all this money into it, you know, especially if you do it on a more consistent basis.
What do you mean by financially?
But that, I mean, depending on events too, right? Like, take a subathon for example. Like, just to prep for certain sub goals. Like, how much money have you put? Like, how much money would you put in per sub goal? You know, like, uh, like I still gotta do my cosplay stream for example, but then like just to get that cosplay in, it was like $120 out of pocket, and
Cosplays are expensive.
they are, and that was like one of the cheaper ones I got. So it's like, how, like, okay, one cosplay is good, and I do want to do it. I always wanted to do it, but it's like, yeah, that's $120 that I spent for the stream, and it keeps adding up the more stuff that you do for it. You know, I think is an investment. Like, as much as you don't want to think about the business side of streaming, it's like, you know, what you do is, or what we do for our streams is an investment that we may or may not see returns in. And if you don't care about the Twitch money, then like it shouldn't matter. But it's like, if you want to see growth in some level of like, okay, this is doing something, like it's a good thing to keep in mind occasionally. But I feel like in our cases, it's like, you know, we do it because we love our communities. We love what we do for our streams personally, and we just want to enjoy ourselves streaming. I think it's just for like events where, for me, I don't want to spend $1,000 for any event that I'm not going to be able to financially recover from for the next like
$1,000?
6 months or something.
That's so much.
I'm just like that's a little blown out of proportion, but when you're like buying equipment for stream, it adds up over time.
Got a point, yeah.
Most I've spent on clothes for stream is that Zelda costume that
I was
cost me
gonna say
$50.
the Zelda costume that you have.
Hey man, I would definitely wear a tunic for stream.
The hardest part was figuring out how bras work.
Where are you, Ash?
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, the wife needed to get like an extender, and then we stuffed it with some socks, and then she was gone. Like, we did like a practice thing getting it all together, and then she was gone when I had to actually put it on, so I like started an hour early, and I like still barely made it. I'm like, I don't know how this works! How do you put on all this stuff? And then I was freezing, so my shoulders are showing, and I'm like, how do you chicks do this?
Oh. My shoulders are exposed, but I'm good.
I think it was, when was that? Was that in winter? I don't know. It's cold.
Oh, yikes.
Sometime last year? Oh, why will you keep streaming? And will you ever quit, do you think? Or stop?
I figure one day I'll quit. Someday down this. I think it'd be like within 5 years maybe, unless I like blow up for some reason. But if not, then like if it becomes like a thing where it's like, hey, I can make a thing out of this, then I'll probably just let her buck till the thing just dies out. But I figure unless I die within the next 5 years, I'll probably be streaming for about another 5 years. I say that before I actually have a child though, so I don't actually know how that would happen or how that would all work out.
I've thought about that too. What if within the next 5 years I have like a kid? Is streaming still feasible?
I feel like it'd be a little bit. Oh no, I don't want this to come across as sexist, but I feel like it'd be a bit easier for me because I could like dump it off to the wife, because I can't breastfeed, so there is that.
I've thought about that.
First year,
I mean,
I agree. It would be easier
I
for a
mean,
guy.
Tim the Tatman is a prime example of being a dad that still streams.
I think it'd be easier
But
if you're making bank off of it.
that's
Like,
also
oh, sorry,
true.
honey, I
It's
gotta
like,
go to work, you know?
I'll see you in a couple hours.
Gotta yell at some kids.
Is there TOS rules with having babies on stream?
Oh yeah,
Is there rules on
recently
TOS
there was
about
some
having
girl.
babies on stream?
Yeah,
Yeah, so there was a chick who got banned because she went
Oh
to go
yeah,
help her.
I read about that.
Yeah,
There was a girl
yeah.
that got banned for having her kid.
Because her kid walked on, but she wasn't on the stream. 'Cause she went to go do something. It's like, oh, your child is on stream unsupervised. 3-day ban, baby.
She went to go get food or something. I think the pizza delivery came. I don't know,
right.
something like that.
Oh my god. Twitch bans are like Nazis, man. I don't get it. Small stuff like that. Like, come on. Oh boy. So I guess that would be a big flag, I guess. It's like the ecosystem of Twitch. I guess for me, same as BDude, I think I see myself doing it for another 5 years unless something drastic changes. Definitely I can't say I can do this for a living because right now I'm not seeing enough where I can do this for a living, you know. So, and that's why I still need to like have a day job and things like that. But at the same time, it's like I enjoy doing it. So I can see myself doing it for another 5 years or so. Oh God, when I'm 30.
It'll be interesting to see how I can figure out how to stream while also being a train conductor.
You can turn
You
it
wanna be a
into
train
in real
conductor?
live stream.
You're not allowed phones or anything on the trains.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because I thought about that too, and then they're like, I'm like, ah, crap. So like the best thing I thought of is because when you go on like long distances, they stop you off in a hotel because you can only go for 12 hours. I'm like, what if I just had like a laptop with me and I just do like some scuffed hotel streams or something?
Yeah, why not?
Because you're designated.
I've seen people do that.
Yeah, at the very least, it's something, and it'll keep me sane.
Yeah, you'll be like socializing.
Invest
and
in a
talking to
streamer
people.
backpack or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be a challenge. I mean, I don't have it in the bag yet, but I
like
just
for
need to do a
me, if
medical.
anything, I would make that. Like for me, I think I would just transition from being a Twitch streamer into a YouTuber, because I feel like for me, I could see myself becoming a vlogger. So like just to do that transition would be a lot easier. And then you're already used to like talking in front of a camera, right? So I mean, honestly, the only thing probably that would stop me from doing Twitch is if Twitch survives.
Well, yeah, with everything that's been going on, there have been a lot of rumors.
I mean, they had to crack down eventually, but it's like it's kind of hard where it's like they kind of let the ecosystem kind of be like this for a long time, and only now they're being balls to the wall hard on like the rules. And I get it, DMCA has been there before Twitch, but it's like, you know, you kind of establish like, oh yeah, you can do all these things, and like, oh wait, never mind, you can't. So gotta be careful.
Are there any insecurities when it comes to streaming? Sorry.
Well, I guess the only thing that I have as far as an insecurity is getting stagnant. As you've noticed, I'm pretty big into statistics. I made Pixel an entire little spreadsheet because I was making a spreadsheet since I started, and she was like, "Wow, you really like stats." I'm like, "I told you." So, the only insecurity, I guess, is not seeing growth or like seeing like significant growth of any sort. It would be really the only thing. As far as like hitting live or anything like that, I've never felt nervous. Like, I'm just gonna hit it, and we're just gonna go, and away we go, and that's what we're gonna do. Woo!
Facts.
That's just how I've always rolled with that.
I think it's I think it's like speaking for myself, it's like I'm secure enough with like, okay, if I'm gonna stream, I'm gonna stream as is, and like what happens happens. And if I don't feel like streaming, I don't stream that day. Type of thing. I guess my only real insecurity I have is when I'm playing a high level multiplayer game. So like, you know, when I do Apex or when I do Tarkov or TFT or League, it's like I've been playing these games for a long time, but then it's like when I start comparing myself to other people that perform better than me. It's like, okay, like I'm putting all this time into a game that I really just suck at, you know. So it's like it hurts, but then it's kind of like a double-edged sword where it convinces you to grind more, but then maybe or not you don't see any growth from doing that. So it's like, you know, it hurts when I play those type of games and then I just feel like I suck every time I just like drop in and then I die immediately, you know. But I guess to bounce off of BDude with the stats thing, it's like, you know, I think that the numbers matter when you are trying to focus on growing. I think for us, like we would love to have like consistent 100 viewership, or 100 people in stream at a time naturally, you know, without raids. So to see those numbers is important, but at the same time, it's like I think when you start fixating on those numbers and you really see that nothing's changing immediately, that's where it. I guess for me, that's where it affects me. Is like when I focus too much on the numbers, you know, because it's like I want to see this happen like now, but obviously, Twitch is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
And when people blow up overnight, but not everyone does, so it's like, okay, I gotta play the long game sometimes. But who knows? Like, all it takes is one meme clip to make you go viral, or a recommendation from a top streamer or something, you know. I guess it's like when we strive for that recognition, be an insecurity because it's like, oh, the senpai noticed me, please.
So I guess the most insecure I've ever felt is I was doing an Ocarina of Time speed run, and things were just going pretty good. I was like on PB pace halfway through, and then I got raided by the any % world record leader.
Ooh.
And I'm like, no, he raided with like 100 and something people, and I'm like, guys, okay, just focus. I'm sorry, I'm focused on the run. How's it going? Oh, holy crap. Okay, I'm not as good as Buddy here. Just you know, I just don't want to mess up now. Luckily, I didn't mess up the run.
Nice.
But there was like an hour and a half left. I'm like, there's so much that can go wrong. So much.
That's good.
So that was an experience. I've never felt nervous on stream except for that one time. Like I felt I've never felt nervous to the people I'm streaming. I felt nervous when I'm like on a good run and I know something can go bad, but that's not really nervous for the stream. It's just nervous because I'm like doing really well and I know that one bad thing will kill it. But this is like all these people are seeing me do a thing and I'm like, I can't mess it up. The pressure.
Fictionless. The pressure.
Yeah, I took that.
Oh.
I feel like it's a lot different for you, BDude, versus like myself or Pix, since you specifically focus speedrunning. I don't know how often you actually try to chase like aiming for world record or aiming for top 10 and stuff like that. But I feel like since the nature of your stream is to focus and like get it done as fast as you can, I feel like there's a lot more pressure on that end for you. Unless it's like you do it casually for fun, and then it's like, oh, if I do really good, I do really good.
I more so go with that, and then it's just kind of like once we have the run kind of going, it's like, all right, we actually have something going here, boys. All right, strap her down. We're in for a good one. Then I 9 times out of 10 you botch it up, but that's just speed running. That's why
that sounds about right.
I was actually talking to one guy last night because he was getting real tilted, and I was like trying to tell him like about my mentality and stuff throughout speedrunning. I'm like, yeah, if it dies, it dies. Give yourself like 10 seconds of being mad, and then after that, it's over. You can't do anything about it, so just deal with it. So you calm down after a little bit too. It's my old man wisdom.
Sorry, you guys should play a game. You want us to play? Oh wait, well, but Winston's interview technically is at 2, so I think you wanted to play a game with him. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, for me, insecurities would be numbers as well. I think I've mentioned it to BDude that I turn everything off, so I don't see how many people are watching the stream. I also don't get that email at the end of the stream that tells me how many people are watching and stuff. Just because I know if I've been on like a positive kind of, what's that word?
Swing.
Uphill, and then all of a sudden I just kind of remain stagnant, or if I decrease in viewers,
Positive.
You know what I mean. I'll just be wondering like what I did wrong, or why people aren't coming by anymore and stuff like that. I think that's been happening recently though, because I think
Yes.
when I huh
Sometimes I get hung up on why haven't they come around for a while? I miss them.
Yeah, especially people that you used to see regularly, and then you just don't see them regularly anymore, or they're in chat, but they only come by like once every 2 weeks or something. But they used to be here like every other day. It's like, why aren't they here anymore? But then you got to remember they have lives too, so maybe they're busy now. With
I had
everything
one
going
guy
on.
I felt the love when you reached out to me, Pix.
Sorry, what?
So I had one
I
guy
felt
that
the
came
love
by
when you
like
reached out to me.
Oh yeah, yeah, because I haven't seen you for a while. I was like, is Kaju okay? Or like, did something happen to these people? So
So I
sometimes
saw
I
one guy
message.
like daily for a long time, and then I just didn't see him for like 6 months. Then he came back one day, and I'm like, "Where have you been?" He's like, "Oh, I've been in jail."
Oh,
Oh,
whoa, really?
I'm like, "Oh, well, hope everything's good." I'm like, "Yeah, I got bailed out, did my time, so I'm gonna be a good boy now." I'm like, "Huh, never
Nice.
thought I would read that in chat."
Oh, I've never seen that. It hits me.
There's a lot of things as streamers we gotta like kind of separate ourselves from chat at times, but then it's like I feel like it's like what Pick said. Our viewers are people too, and it's cool when we have our regulars that come by every time, but then we get concerned when they disappear. At the same time, it's like you know they're living their life, and like hopefully they come back, but if not, like I hope they're doing well.
You need to separate yourself from it, not take it personal. But it's hard not to take it personal when, especially you're a small streamer and you've been with a whole bunch of these people for hours on end, for months on end, and you're like,
oh yeah.
And then one day they're just not there. It's like,
then they're
why?
just not there, and you're like, what did I do?
But
Something I said?
sorry, go
It
ahead.
definitely hurts. It definitely hurts for us as small streamers because we know these people, or like we see these people on a more consistent basis, and we talk to them more. Since like you look at big streamers and you just see the chat scroll, and it's like okay, like I'm pretty sure they're not keeping tabs on like who's who in there. Versus us, where it's like okay, you almost know each of us by name. It's like it's that more personal for us in the smaller streaming community.
Did Shoko tag herself?
Thanks. But she is
Did Shoko what?
relating. I think. No, I think I tagged her.
Recap it.
Oh no, I tagged her, and then she's replying to the tag that I tagged her.
Okay,
In.
that's a reply thing. Okay,
Sorry.
I'm old. It's fine.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's a thread. Sorry. But yeah, Jean brought up another point. When sometimes you see them in another stream after you finish streaming, but they weren't there for your own stream. I've seen that before too. It's like, huh?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like you're here.
I mean,
Like that gets me too.
Yeah, I do that. But like, there's so much people that I enjoy watching, on my follow feed where it's like, okay, I see 4 of them streaming at once, and that's just I see four of them streaming at once, and I just focus on a stream. I can't be one of those lurkers that have like 10 tabs open. Like I want to be there to engage.
Yeah.
So like, who do I pick? You know, I hate to say it's like almost picking your favorite child, but it's like as a viewer, I want to be able to engage and talk to the streamer and with chat.
Yeah.
So it's like I want to give my undivided attention, but at the same time, it's like, okay, share that love. I step out for a bit, visit another stream, and do the same thing. So, but for me, yeah, I just can't like have like 10 streams open and then just, you know, sporadically hop in and out. If I'm watching the stream, I'm in it for at least a good hour or two, you know? Or, you know, if I'm trying to kill time before work.
I think lurks stop counting around 4 or 5 anyway, so don't overextend yourself.
I think I usually only have 3 or 4 open at a time.
I'll usually have like, because I have the 3 monitors here, so I can have like 2 and I can interact with 2 at a time. It's busy, but you can do it. And it's like, okay, I've spent like an hour here, whatever. We'll put those down so they're not mute, but they're just quiet. Go to the other ones, go on those ones for a little bit. But yeah, like I think I have an easy 10 streamers live at almost any time, except for like this morning when I saw Pixel was doing Super Mario and I fell asleep again, and you were actually the only one.
Yeah.
And then plot twist, then you have people like Ozzy who has literally not even all 10 streamers on his 3 screens. Like, Ozzy, what are you doing?
That's stimuli overload.
He's a god mod for a reason. He's a god mod for a reason. But it's like support like that I do appreciate. But it's like, you know, I think we do our best to follow or to like watch people, and I'm pretty sure likewise for our viewers, it's like they want to watch us, but then they're also stuck in that conundrum of who do I watch for that night or for that day. So
there's just so much content all over.
There is. Yeah.
Exactly, content overload, especially on Twitch. So, I guess in a sense, if we're actually concerned about having these people in our chat on a more consistent basis, then it's like, for us, then it kind of tells us we either need to engage with our chat more, or we need to create more opportunities for our chat to be involved with the stream. That, or we need to network with a lot more streamers as well.
I'm bad at networking.
I'm also bad at networking.
You're at least 5 times better than I am, from what I can tell.
I try. I usually like find people
Big
that I like
facts.
watching, and then I stick to them, and I don't find new ones for a while. And I probably should.
Speedrunners are so hard to network with.
Good morning, Jen.
I feel like it's easy to network with speedrunners.
I've tried, and
for your particular games.
a lot of the time,
Is it because they're all too focused?
And they're just like, I just kind of do whatever, and that's just what it is. And you're like, okay, well, I'll hang out for a bit, and then they'll be like, okay, cool. And then you won't see them for like 2 months, and you'll be like, oh, okay, cool.
Or is your networking more so like on the forum boards, like looking at like speedrunning strats and stuff like that?
No, I just kind of go in, I'll watch a bunch of speedruns I don't even know how to play. And those are actually the ones that I've networked with better. Like, I know a guy who was doing Final Fantasy 9. One guy he did Link's Awakening, but yesterday he was doing Pokemon Heart Gold when I actually started talking to him.
Nice.
I don't know how to play either one of those. Speedrunning wise, at least.
You can speedrun Final Fantasy 9? I guess you can speedrun any of the Final.
You can speedrun anything. I mean, yeah, this guy's got Final Fantasy 9 down to 8 hours and 47 minutes.
And it's gonna take me 3 times as long to finish that game. Maybe 4.
So
I mean, it's like, or it's you can speedrun anything. It's just that certain games are not optimal for speedrunning because like there are certain things that you can't avoid. that's why a lot of RPGs are off the list, because since they're very plot heavy, it's like even if you skip through all the text, it's like it still takes a lot of time off. So usually like RPG speedruns, they cap it at like at best like 3 to 6 hours, depending.
So yeah, like watching this guy, I'll see him. He'll be live for like 6-7 hours. He's on like 6-7 hours into the run. The run dies, and there was sometimes he was like, "All right, we'll try again." I'm like, "We're not even marathon streaming, but he's just speedrunning, but it feels like a marathon stream." All right, well, then you'll see like 16 hours. He's like, "Oh, we're almost done the game." Then he'll die again from some random thing. And like, okay, well.
Wow.
But what Frictional Say said, one speedrunner I watch barely watches the game and concentrates on chat. Once you've played it so many times, there's a lot of spots where you don't actually have to pay attention. Like we were doing Link to the Past, and I was just, chatting with a bunch of people, and then all of a sudden I was like, "Oh, we're in the Dark World now. When did that happen?" Didn't even really realize. But then like a couple of bosses are like, "Oh, hang on, okay, yeah." So there's like 30 seconds of paying attention. Then it's also, yeah, you're going like, "We're 40 minutes into the run, huh? How about that?"
So a lot of classic Zelda is like very optimal for speedrunning. I mean, Ocarina of Time is like what top 5 for most speedrun.
Ocarina of Time is so hard. I will never recommend it for your first speedrun.
I can't imagine.
It was my first speedrun, and there is so, I mean, it helped with all the other ones, but there's just so much, especially with it being 3D. It's so there's setups, and it's so. I have notes for that game, and I know it probably the most other than one other game, and my notes are like 15 pages or something.
Which Zelda game you'd like to speedrun, though?
All the ones that I've played, I like to speedrun. Link's Awakening is fun because it's decently easy, and it's cute, and I don't have to pay attention to it that much. Ocarina of Time is fun because it's challenging. I'm actually better at it now. Link to the Past is fun because it's so optimized that you're like fighting for those seconds, even though I'm not even that good at it. I think I'm like 78th out of 200 for 100%. And I haven't done much of Oracle Seasons lately, actually. I don't even remember that one.
Haven't done Wind Waker?
Wind Waker is so long. For Zelda games, because of how...
But then speed hacks, though.
How precise and everything is. For those long runs, like that or Twilight Princess, I don't have the mental capacity to keep it going for that long. I can do Final Fantasy VI for 7 hours because there's just a lot of like text mashing and just kind of making sure you're walking the right spot and there's a few decisions here or there, but it's not like I have to pay attention to my movement the entire time because otherwise I'm gonna botch up a setup or something.
Mm.
Oh, what do you think the future of streaming looks like in general?
This one had me looking at the longest, and I think streaming itself, the only thing that'll change is the quality of each stream. But as far as like, there are people who enjoy the hype streams, there are people who enjoy the chill streams, you have the people who like the big streams and the people who like the small streams. So as far as the streaming ecosystem, it probably won't actually change that much. But as far as the general quality of it over time, because everyone kind of strives for that little extra quality, I think that'll really be the only thing that really changes. Twitch has like implemented those like interactions with like predictions and channel rewards and stuff, but that they made it so easy that you don't really have to do too much to add that in.
You think most people will be on Twitch watching?
I will go. I feel like people will stay on Twitch, but it's like, hello?
Hello.
Yep, you're good.
Oh, okay. I lagged out.
Oh,
okay.
We can hear
I feel
him.
like people will still be on.
He's talking, but he can't hear
The
him.
face said everything.
He's like, ah, damn it. I see your mouth moving. I can't hear anything.
I'm just gonna pretend this is super profound.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I hope so, Iwama. Oh no, no sound. Yeah, no sound from Kaju. I think he got disconnected. Camera still works.
Yeah, his camera's still on, so he's not completely disconnected. I think it was just a mic thing.
Hmm.
But there's like such a, I don't know, Twitch has such a foundation now with so much money running through it. I don't, unless like, there'd have to be a really, really big scandal, I think, to kill it.
True.
Because they couldn't, didn't they have like some people that were possibly like some sort of sexual offenders to some degree or something like that? And then people are like, oh, well, no, that's bad. But has anything actually really changed?
No, just more of them have been coming out or being exposed, unquote.
Yeah, and then people are still.
Okay. Oh my
Okay,
God.
we hear you now.
Welcome.
I'm gonna move locations because I think I'm like getting internet lag or something like that.
You seem fine now.
Mind the background noise.
Okay.
You're good. What was I saying? Okay, so it's like future streaming, right?
Yeah.
I think the big thing that might change is like DMCA law. I feel like, especially with the evolution of technology, especially and how people are streaming stuff to other platforms, that's going to be a big change where it's like, okay, they got to relook at the DMCA laws and how they can incorporate it to modern day streaming, because like DMCA has been around since 1990, and that was like at the start of internet age, right? So everyone's worried, like they were worried about torrents and rips and stuff like that, but now people are like playing it live. So it's like, okay, like we can't. It's not like we're using like media elements to like, you know, like to like, okay, like here's a playlist of Ariana Grande, like listen to that. Like we use it more as like background noise and stuff like that, you know. But it's like, I feel like that's gonna be a major thing that might be reworked in the next couple of years. Maybe another ecosystem change or another platform to compete with Twitch again, or the rise of YouTube maybe. Because it's like, you know, I think Mixer had enough things going for it that made it different from Twitch, but they weren't supported. They weren't given full support from Microsoft, because like, especially when like Ninja and Shroud switched over, right? Okay, they made a big deal out of that, but they never really promoted them. I never really saw ads for Mixer on other platforms and stuff like that. But if you ever been to a Mixer stream, like they incorporated a lot of things that Twitch still doesn't have currently. So it like you probably some of those elements will eventually get integrated and stuff like that. It really depends on like the Twitch's focus in the near future about like all this drama and their or like their TOS policies. I do agree with you though. Like the culture streaming is probably still going to be the same, because it's like, you know, I feel like streamers now have kind of been doing the same format since the early 2010s, you know, when streaming first started growing.
That's true. The only difference is the quality, like Bdude said. It's
Yeah.
increased, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to wrap it up because I know you're in the what looks like the living room.
Oh yeah, we're watching some football right now.
Ooh, nice. All right, so 2021, are you guys looking forward to the new year? Or is it just another year for you?
Well, like I said, it's going to be a bit of a challenge for me just because of the train conductor thing. Might throw a little bit of a wrench into there. Like right now, I looked at it and I average about 13 streams a month. I don't know if I'll be able to keep up to that, or maybe I'll be able to do more depending on, because I always try and like balance the wife life and the stream life. And so I try to only do like 3 streams a week type of thing. So that way she's happy.
Yeah, 3 streams is still plenty.
That's not terrible. And then, like, I don't know, every once in a while I'll be like, hey, I got a little extra time. We can do one more. Yay. But then there'll be other times where, especially when I was on call. On call was the worst, which I guess I'll be on call with the train thing too, but I'll actually kind of like know when I'll be going in too. So I don't know. It'll be an interesting year.
For me, 2021 will be just another year for me. Like honestly, like anything will be 2020 for sure. But like I don't look to see like I don't look to see like the big future and plans and stuff like that. I mean, I might talk about that occasionally. It's like, oh yeah, I definitely want to go to TwitchCon next year and stuff like that. But like it's just another year, and regardless of what has happened in 2020, there was still some good stuff that happened in it as well, and we just move forward from it. I think for us, if we lament too much in our past, it's like we can't. We get stuck in the past sometimes, I was like, oh yeah, 2020 sucked, and we're still saying that in like July of next year. I think it's important to realize that things happen, and we just move forward and grow and do better from it. For me, I'm hoping to do a lot more in 2021 now that I have a little bit more time on my hands to do or invest more time into the stream aspect and editing aspect of my career. So, but I sense there's going to be a lot of changes on my end happening. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh,
I think I'm getting Fiverr this year.
What do you think, Biggs? Fiverr. Ooh.
Oh, Fiverr is fast Bell internet, right? Fiverr Bell or Bell Fiverr?
Well, it won't be Bell. It'll be SaskTel. SaskTel is TELUS. I think it's TELUS. But it'll be better than what I have right now. I waited for fiber for years, and then it didn't come in. So then I got what I have now, and then 6 months later they brought in fiber.
Hey, anything's better than my coconut wireless. So apparently here, like here in Seattle, they already have 5G, but like back home, I'm still on LTE.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it is us? I don't know. I'm looking forward a bit to 2021, but I don't think it'll be like that much better. I'm just hoping it's a little better than this one. I don't know. The year is kind of what you make it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like 2020 has forced all of us to like be more creative with what we do. Not just with our streams, but with our daily lives as well. And it really revealed a lot about, us individually. So it's like, like 2020 was definitely a growing year for sure. It may not seem like it, but it's important for, for us to really reflect on it, even if it feels like we didn't really do much. At the same time, it's like, yeah, this year did suck. So I'm ready to move forward from it as well.
That's true. Wow. Do the two of you have any topics you want to talk about that I missed or might have missed?
I had one thing of, what do you guys do to make your stream stand out? Why would someone scrolling through something click on your name instead of anyone else's? Oh, it's a tough one. It's a hard one. I've had a few ideas and heard a few things that I want to try. Even if it's like in my title, because I'm a pretty lulzy, memey type of person. I'm just gonna start putting like really bad puns for whatever game I'm in.
He does.
Just so that someone can come in and tell me how bad my pun is. Other than that, because I'm looking at like all the different speedrun stuff. Like if you go to Ocarina of Time, you'll see they're like doing rando, doing any percent speedrun. And then they all just kind of like, you have your split, you have your game, there it is. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I should like try and put like some almost clickbaity background picture for my splits or something, just so people go like, hey, what is this and why is this here? Just to get them in.
Hey, that works for some people though.
Honestly, yeah, because it's like I think the initial retention's important, or no, the initial engagement's important, but the tough part is retention. So it's like, okay, you can do the clip. You can do like different titles to make your stream stand out. But then it's like once they're in your stream, you gotta make sure you gotta find a way to keep them there. You know. So I think you have the character and personality for that. For me, I'm very vanilla. If I could be honest, like how I'm talking now is probably how I talk on stream. But at the same time, like I try to change it up a little bit. So, but I think a lot of it is like, oh yeah, like make my titles more engaging, make or make my titles more to the point. But I think I don't know. It's like when you're playing a game that everyone else is playing, especially when you're a small streamer, it's hard to draw a lot or to draw a lot of viewership a lot. I think in your case, BDude, since you speedrun a lot, it's more interesting than someone who's just casually playing the game. So it's like, okay, I guess for me, it's like, you know, a lot of it is just drawn to like how I am on stream and how I engage with my chat. But a lot of the times I am pretty focused on my game as well. So it's like a double-edged sword for me. I feel like you two in particular have very unique niches about your stream that get a lot of people attracted to it.
I honestly don't know what mine is.
Art. I mean, and like already straight off the bat, Zelda. So
yeah,
it's like,
yours is Zelda, pretty much.
I also wore these to Smash tournaments, and people said I was very approachable. So I was like, you know what? We'll wear it for streaming too.
Exactly.
That's true.
So
Actually, I used to wear this.
The onesie, right? Oh yeah, the cap. So it's like, so I yeah, it's like your guys' streams are very approachable. From like if I were to come across you guys on like the search feature or something like that.
My struggle usually is getting people in. Once I have people in, I feel pretty confident in myself to at least keep a portion of them. But just trying to stand out from, like, if you go to Ocarina of Time, you'll see basically all randos and all speedruns and like 3 or 4 casual players. So it's why would someone watch my speedrun over someone else's? And that's what I'm trying to get more active in like speedrunning discords and stuff too, because I'm a huge Discord lurker.
But I'm pretty sure you like what like your personality and the like, you know, the fact that you dress up, like it makes you stand out a lot already, because like a lot of speedrunners, they're so focused on the game and like, you know, their times, their splits and whatnot. It draws in that specific like hardcore niche of people, you know. In your case, it's like you enjoy what you're doing, so it's like, okay, and it's like you don't see a lot of people full on like invest in their it's like my brother-in-law, he really loves Zelda too, and like he would wear like all Zelda all the time. So
I've always been show first, speedrun second.
Exactly. So I think that's that makes you stand out.
Because sometimes they'll be like, all right, do you guys want me to be like a real speedrunner? And they'll be just like...
Is that what they do?
A lot of them, well, I don't have my controller on me, but a lot of them, they'll just like go for a little bit and then like something bad happens and they'll go like... And then again, usually that, and it's like, okay, well... What about you, Pixel?
I don't know what makes it.
I mean, you've got the bright pink thing that already stands out amongst whatever else. Like if we just went, well,
I guess so. But
I guess you don't have it right now, but like if you go to just chatting right now, a lot of it is just
full camera shots.
Full camera shot, which I am guilty of because I'm lazy on my just chatting. Yeah, this is all full camera shot. This guy has a fireplace, I guess, but then you come across and you'll just get like, bam, bright pink, and be like, oh, what's this?
Exactly.
Oh, well, I think that matches my personality well, because Helen was able to
Very
capture that.
bubbly.
Oh yeah, for sure. And especially when you're doing perler beating on Mondays, it's like, oh, you're perler beating. That's a different art that I don't normally see on Twitch.
That's true. I guess there's that. But I think in general, I just try to create a very welcoming atmosphere where people feel like they can talk. Just, not be shy.
Well, it's definitely working.
Yeah. Like, I don't want it to feel like you're watching a streamer. I want it to be more like you're kind of just hanging out with a group of friends, I guess.
I feel like that should be the approach on how we do things, where it's like, we shouldn't try too hard to entertain or to engage, but at the same time, we want to be natural and gain our viewership as if like we're talking to friends and stuff like that. But it's different per person, and it's different like how they approach streaming too. So I guess that's a big part of it. How people approach streaming really determines how their stream ends up being. Yeah, for your entire team. I was asked, like, my friend was talking to me and like, oh, I want to start streaming. Where do I start off? And I just told him, you gotta answer yourself two questions. Where it's like, why do you want to stream, and why do you want to stream, and what is the end goal?
If you're doing it for fame or the money, you're already doing it for the wrong reasons.
That's not everyone's answer, though.
That's true.
So it's like, if you like, so it's like how you answer those questions really lays your path on like how your stream ends up being when you start streaming. So it may not be an effective answer, saying if you're aiming for followers or aiming for the money and stuff like that. It may not be feasible or it may not be realistic, but it will drive you in a direction of like, okay, what is everyone else doing? What can I do to gain similar viewership? And people that grind that, there's profit from it. I mean, there's a reason why there's a lot of like channels on YouTube that are similar to Mr. Beast, because they're all copying what he's doing to an extent. So at the same time, I think all of us here can agree that's not how we want to build our communities. So that's why we don't do that.
Yeah. Also, we don't have that much money. So.
Yeah, I can't be dropping off that. I haven't worked since March. So here's another question. I'll start it off with Pixel here. So what are your top 3 streaming priorities? What are your 3 big values when you stream?
My 3 big values?
Sure. Like I have like my top 3 that I have is I want some good chat interaction, good quality, and I want to be entertaining, because when you do a lot of speed running, a lot of people just lurk just to like watch the speed run. So instead of just watching a speed run, why not make it like a fun speed run to watch, so that they would want to watch the speed run over Joe Blow, who's also about the same time as me.
Mm-hmm.
Give him a few yucks while you're going along.
I think number 1 would probably be chat interaction, because I don't know, I don't have an explanation for that. Maybe because I've been staying up too long, but chat interaction, I don't have an explanation. The other 2 be actually. Would it be selfish for me to say I want to have fun with what I'm doing?
No.
Like whatever game I'm playing, I want to be enjoying myself. Because I feel
I'd
like
be a hypocrite to say fun, because I keep telling speedrunners that you don't speedrun for fun, so I can't say fun anymore.
Oh, okay. Because I feel like if I'm enjoying myself, then chat can see that, and then they kind of enjoy themselves too. It kind of reflects how I'm feeling. And... I don't know what the last one would be.
You think about it. I had time to sit here and look at these because I made a whole Word doc.
If I could be honest, I'm coming up with these on the spot only because like I'm on vacation. The 3 things I value is overall quality of the stream. Because I think early on when I had bad internet, I just got pissed off every time like I wouldn't get like
my stream would always be choppy in the end product, or like things that ended up not looking good and things like that. I always want to make sure that the viewing experience is always feasible for people to watch. Um, Not so much chat interaction, but making sure that chat chat engage, or I guess engagement and interaction would be the same thing. I want to make sure that whoever's in chat currently knows that I see what they're talking about, or I see them, and I know that they're there, and I'm willing and open to the like talk things out. And I guess my third one would be, I'm enjoying what I'm doing for that day, or like my own well being, because it's like if I'm not in the mood to stream, I won't stream. And like if I'm feeling if I'm feeling out of it, or I'm like frustrated over a particular game, I'll switch games, or I'll just change things up for a bit. So it's like, I focus on like, how I feel like things are going personally. If things aren't going well, I'll change it up a bit.
Right now, that means extending our 10% savings on auto. I guess my third one would be no technical difficulties. And to have those once in a while. So it's nice not to have any.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, I like forget to unmute my mic, or my controller doesn't work with the game, or won't load or capture properly, something like that.
I found I always have pretty good fixes for most of that, except for when that modem dies. Once that modem dies, I can't do anything.
That's happened a few times too.
I will never let that go. I was so mad, but it's like, all right, we're gonna do. What was I gonna do? 36 or 48-hour stream or something like that. I'm like, cool. And I was like 9 hours in.
Oh, that was me during the 24-hour stream. Like, why the F did my stream? Like, my OBS was saying I was still live, but Twitch was saying I'm offline. I'm like, why the hell did that happen?
I was there for that.
And to answer your question from earlier, yes, I still use Streamlabs, but I think I feel like OBS has less problems for sure, but Streamlabs is still more easy for me to use, in my opinion. But I need to experiment to see like how streaming regular OBS would be like.
Yeah, you can download both and then have them.
I already have it. I just haven't gotten to like messing around with it.
Slobs is user friendly, but OBS is computer friendly.
True.
I can show you now. I'm drinking. You know what Big Hit did this last night before I went to bed?
Are they calling you?
My family's wide right now. No. They're like arguing at the breakfast or over breakfast right now. They're waiting for the Seattle game to start. That's why.
Ah, okay.
I don't know who the Seahawks are playing though. I don't know. I'm not a Seahawks fan.
I'm not a football person.
I watch CFL.
Canadian football.
Fun fact: one of Hawaii's top running backs in the day used to Chad Owens.
Chad Owens, yeah, played for Toronto, and then he played for Saskatchewan for a bit.
Yep.
How tall is he?
Probably Hawaii's biggest success rate over recent NFL players. So
they used to call him the Flying Hawaiian.
I thought that was Shane Victorino. Oh, they also called him the Flying Hawaiian?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Pretty dope. The guy can still be at it too, and his son is probably going to be in the NFL. Like, that's how good he is, honestly. They need to give CFL more credit. Sorry, random football stuff, but it'd be like that.
That's all I have for you guys.
Yeah, I've gone through. I had one other question, but we kind of got over before about networking. So we've hit my 3.
Kaju, OBS is better choice in the long run. I had issue with slobs. I'll look into it, Ace. I'll look into it.
Flower says that too. Slobs for sure gave me a lot of problems.
Wait for it.
Yeah, true. I'll look into it. I would just have to like redo everything in terms of my layouts and stuff like that. But I put myself back on Helen's waitlist for commissions, so I'm hoping to change my web or my game screen eventually.
I think it's good that you put yourself back on because I think she's stopping those for a bit.
But she put me on her wait list, but yeah, I read her post. She deserves that break.
She does.
I think it's crazy like how much she has gotten done over the past months or past couple months alone. But I think since she never closed her commission list, like it just kept piling up on her. So she definitely needs this break for sure.
Do you guys have anything in the works for 2021 as far as streaming? Any big plans that you kind of have mulling in your brain?
Well,
not yet.
I kind of started, or I kind of tried it out on my 24-hour stream, but I'm gonna try and do card unboxings.
Oh, I did see you doing the card stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give that a shot because it's trending, but like I think that's like a niche market for sure, but I feel like there's potential in that, so I'm gonna give it a go, and then I'm gonna try and do a card grading as well, so sending my cards in to get graded and stuff like that. So try that out, see how it goes.
Let's review here.
There's some profit from the cards I opened recently, so.
Let's see. Yeah.
But aside from that, nothing too major. I don't see my next big event until like my affiliate anniversary, which is coming up in like March. So we'll plan for then. And then hopefully I can travel more again. So.
Traveling would be nice.
I know, right?
Nobody changed, not that I know.
What about you, BDude? Any other games you want to speed run?
I've kind of looked into picking up some glitched runs for Link's Awakening because they keep telling me I should. See if I can maybe crack into top 10, maybe even top 3 into that one as well. Depending on how hard the stuff is. I know there's a couple of frame perfect things, so that'll be fun.
Have you tried learning the new strats for Wind Waker yet?
I haven't even tried Wind Waker.
Maybe you should try Wind Waker because I heard that like there's a lot of recent glitches that cut the game time down to like 2 hours, I think.
I think that's the Wii U version. I don't have the Wii U.
No, I heard the GameCube one.
GameCube one is also short. Yeah, they're about the same now, actually. I think close-ish.
Yeah, because I heard they recently found something that you can skip the barrier skip in GameCube.
Yeah, that was mid 2020. I think so. It was a big thing. There's a lot of big Zelda stuff this year.
Or do a Mario speedrun.
Ooh.
The only one I think I would do would be like 70-star Mario 64.
Don't want to do Sunshine.
This is so great. I love these.
But I don't know if my hands can take it. I do Zelda because I figure Zelda is the best type of game to speedrun because there's not too much story to get through. There's a lot of technical stuff you can do. It mixes up with puzzles as well as action. And it's kind of like a perfect blend of it all. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Any of them. Pick one.
Breath of the Wild, go.
Oh yeah. I have a thing where once I get to 1,000 follows, I have to do a 20 or a 100% Breath of the Wild speedrun.
Oh yikes. That Korok hunt though.
It's fine. I'm still far away from it. I don't have to worry about it for a long time.
But you should do straight from Great Plateau into the Ganon fight.
Oh, any percent. That was a lot shorter.
No armor whatsoever. Let's go.
Maybe Pixel will do a speedrun this year.
No. I'm good.
Hey man, she speedran Mario 3 like it was no one's business.
But I
There you
still
go, Mario
technically
3.
died.
That's fine. There's one guy who has a Mario Bros. 1 speedrun on the leaderboards, and it's like 8 hours or something.
8 hours for Mario 1?
I mean,
Yes.
technically, I went through it today in less than. How long did I take?
If it was less than 8 hours, you won't be last on the board.
It was like 2
Like I'm
hours, I
saying,
think.
it literally, no one ever believes me, but you literally can just pick up a game and just speed run it for fun, and you will probably not be the worst one.
I think the longest speedrun I ever heard was 100% Train Simulator, because you have to like buy all the trains,
I lied, it's 6 hours.
and it's like one of the most expensive speedruns too.
Train simulator.
To a reverse speedrun. You start at the end and you slowly make your way back to the beginning.
Speedrun Persona 5.
Oh, that's gonna take forever, wouldn't it? I feel like.
I think no, you can skip cutscenes. That's why, so it's a lot easier to like rush through it.
Which Persona 5?
Why? Because that's the more content game.
World record for that is 15 hours.
What about regular 5?
It was like 16 hours.
Damn. Never mind.
So I was like,
Final Fantasy
I
VII.
recommend short ones. Like around 2 hours or less for your first one.
Fair enough. My family's giving me the looks. I should probably
Okay.
eat food.
You should go
All
eat.
right. Thanks again, Pix.